Yay! Yay! Thank you, Amanita. Oh, I was hoping we would see at least one. Thank goodness. So this is one of the most deadly poisonous groups of mushrooms, the Amanita. The Amanita mushrooms. And we're about to find out if this is Flavoconia or...
Wait, get it first.
Okay.
Okay.
We're about to find out if this is Flavoconia or if it's Jacksonii. Okay, probably not Jacksonii with that little tiny cup. Did y'all notice that little cup that kind of flaked away there? Yep. There's still some remnants. So this is the Amanita Flavoconia, I think. And this one is not listed as edible. And there's another one that has yellow gills on the underside that looks very similar, and that one's Amanita Jacksonii. Usually has more of a reddish cap as well, and a very pronounced vulva or cup. They call it a vulva. And so these are some very common features of the Amanita family. They'll have that cup or vulva at the bottom. You can see the remnants from it right here where it kind of flaked away. They'll oftentimes have the annulus. I think the Amanitas in the Vaginata group do not have an annulus, which is unique to them. But most of the Amanitas do. And let's see here. Other features. The gills will usually attach to the stem or be slightly detached, but not decurrent, which means running down the stem.
So this is a really poisonous mushroom. Yeah.
Potentially.
So when you handle it, is that an issue?
No, I could even floss my teeth afterwards and it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
So, again, on all of this, do your own research. I'm not like an expert mycologist or anything like that. I'm a goofball hippie who loves mushrooms. So do your own research. And in general, I don't like the idea of trusting experts. You know, we got to always like be thorough and triple confirm things, because experts, they have brains and hearts and they make mistakes just like we all do, and they can misremember things or whatever. So, you know, be very careful to qualify your information, even when it's coming from an absolute expert. Ask them, well, where did you learn that, or how do you know that? You know, is that from direct experience? Is that secondhand knowledge? Is that scholarly research that you did? So key features of the Amanita genus is a cup. Sometimes people call it the death cup. The mycological term is a vulva. It's a little sac that's part of a universal veil that is like a thin layer of skin. So when this mushroom starts out, it looks a lot like that stinkhorn that we saw in the beginning, where it's just round and emerges out of that sac. That's what this little scale on the top of the mushroom is. That little fleck right there, that's a little scale or scaber that forms. It's a remnant of the universal veil. It starts out looking like an egg, and then as it opens up, the outer veil busts, and in here, this is a partial veil, which is designed to connect from the stem to the edge of the cap, and that's what protects the gills and the spores until the mushroom is ready to disperse those spores. And then when that happens, the partial veil breaks away and some of it sticks to the stem, and sometimes some of it will be hanging from the edge of the mushroom cap in certain species. That can be one of the defining characteristics, is there little bits of a veil hanging from the margin is the mycological term. The other thing to look for is radial striations on the margin, which basically means you can kind of see the gills through the top of the cap. You can see little lines on the edge of the cap. If we come into the sun a little bit, you can probably see it more clearly, but very faint little lines there. I highly recommend tuning into that. So I'm going to guess Amanita flaviconia on this one, but I'm not 100% sure. I am 100% sure that this is an Amanita though, and probably a poisonous one. Most of them are poisonous.